This video is part 2 of a 6-part video series where we are going over the 60 questions from the math portion of the ACT Prep practice test. Problem 11. Students studying motion observed a cart rolling at a constant rate along a straight line. The table below gives the distance d in feet the cart was from a reference point at 1 second intervals from t equals 0 to t equals 5. Which of the following equations represents the relationship of d to t? So what we are going to do is d is equal to mt plus b, which is kind of a takeoff of y is equal to mx plus b, slope-intercept form. So we need to look at the slope. Between 0 and 1, it changes 6, 6, 6, so it's 6 every time, so it's 6 over 1 second, so m is equal to 6. And b, the y-intercept, when x is 0, when t is 0, d is 14, so d is going to be 6t plus 14, which is c. Number 12. The length of a rectangle with the area 54 square centimeters is 9 centimeters. What's the perimeter of the rectangle in centimeters? So this side is 9, this side is x. 9x is equal to 54, divide by 9, and x is equal to 6. So the sides are 6, 9, 6, 9. 6 plus 9 is 15. 15 plus 15 is 30. So for 12, the answer is K, 30. Problem number 13. In the figure below, C is the intersection, C is right here. C is the intersection of AD and BE. If it can be determined, what is the measurement of angle BAC? So we're looking for the measurement of angle A right here. You remember that the sum of the interior angles of a triangle equal 180 degrees. So if we can find this angle, and we know this is 35, we can calculate A. Since angle DCE is 45, this angle is 45 as well. So it's 180 minus 35 minus 45, which is 180, minus 80, which is 100. The answer is B. Problem 14. We have a student who drew a circle graph describing his time spent at school in one day. His teacher said the number of hours listed is correct, but the central angle measurements for the sectors were not correct. So the central angles would be this angle for core subjects, that angle for electives, that angle for lunch and passing time, and then choir. So the angles are not correct. What should the central angle measurement for the core subject be? So the 4 hours here. So the first thing we need to do, how many hours are there in the day? 4 plus 3 plus 1 plus 1. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 9. 9 hours in the day and 4 hours core subjects. So 4/9 of the day is spent in core subjects. The central angle, if you go all the way around, is 360 degrees. So the angle for core subjects has to be 4/9 of 360 degrees. So 4 divided by 9 times 360 is 160 degrees, which happens to be an answer. So that's awesome. And it would make sense. Halfway around is 180. 4/9 is less than half, so the angle has to be a little bit smaller. So that's just kind of a way to look at it to see, did I get something that even looks right? Problem 15. This month, Cami sold 70 figurines in 2 sizes. The large figurines sold for $12 each and the small figurines sold for $8 each. The The amount of money he received from the sales of the large figurines equals the amount of money received from the sales of the small figurines. How many large figurines did he sell? So X is going to be number of large figurines. 70 minus X is going to be number of small figurines. Now the money made was the same, so $12 times X has to equal $8 times 70 minus X. 12X, we have to distribute 8. 8 times 70 is 560. 8 times 7 is 56. Add a 0 on the end. Minus 8X. Add 8X to each side. And you get 20X is equal to 560. Divide both sides by 20. And X is equal to 2 goes into 56 28 times. So the answer is 28. Problem number 16. The car accelerated from 88 feet per second to 220 feet per second in exactly 3 seconds. Assuming the acceleration was constant, what's the car's acceleration? Meaning the acceleration was the same. So that would be the same thing as a slope. So if you were to draw a diagram at 0 seconds, you were going 88, and at 3 seconds, you were going 220. So it's 3, 220, and 0, 88 would be the 2 points on this line. So the constant acceleration would be the slope, which is 220 minus 88. We'll call this 0.2, 0.1. So the equation I'm using is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 is equal to the slope m. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, 3 minus 0, so that's just 3. So let's pull up the calculator. 220 minus 88 divided by 3 equals 44. The answer is H. Problem 17. You have a plane that has 2 distinct lines, A, B, and C, D. They intersect at A, where A is between C and D. The measure of BAC is 47, so we're going to do CD as a line, and then we're going to call this A, B. So the measurement of angle BAC, this angle, is 47 degrees. What is the measurement of BAD, which is this angle? These two angles together have to total 180. So we'll just say, we'll call that angle theta, just because theta is a fun thing to write. 180 degrees is equal to 47 degrees plus theta. So 180 minus 47 gives you 133 degrees is equal to theta. So this is 133 degrees. The answer is D. Problem 18. In which of the following are 1/3, 5/6, and 5/8 arranged in ascending order, so smallest to largest? In order to do that, we have to get a common denominator. Common denominator, I'm just going to do a quick prime factorization. That's 2. That's 2 times 3. This is 2 times 2 times 2. So the prime factorization is going to be 2 times 2 times 2 times 3, which is 24. 2 times 2 is 4. Times 2 is 8. 8 times 3 is 24. So 1/2, to make 1/2, 24, you need to multiply it by 12 over 12. So that's 12 over 12. To make 5/6, 24, let me do this in a different color. 5, 6. You have to multiply that. 6 times 4, 5 times 4. So that's 20 over 24. And then 5/8 times 3 over 3 is 15 over 24. So this one would be the smallest, this one would be second, and this one would be third. So 1, 2, 3. So 1/2 needs to be first. You only have one that has 1/2 first, and then 5/8 and 5/6. So the answer is F. Problem number 19. In scientific notation, add 670 million and 700 million. A couple of different ways we can do this. We can add them, change it to scientific notation, or change it to scientific notation and add them, which is actually what I would prefer to do. 6.7 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you have to move the decimal over 8 places to get 6.7, plus 7 times 10 to the 3, 6, 7, 8 again. So 6.7 plus 7. I'm even going to pull up a calculator to do this just to make sure. 6.7 plus 7 is 13.7 times 10 to the 8th. Scientific notation, only one significant digit to the left of the decimal, so we need to go 1.37 times 10 to the 9th, because it's to the 8th, we move it over one more, it's to the 9th. 1.37 times 10 to the 9th is D. Problem number 20, and this is the last one for this section. For trapezoid ABCD, shown below, AB is parallel to DC. Let me highlight those two. These two lines are parallel. And you have the interior angle D labeled as X degrees. The question is, what is angle A in terms of X? So this angle right here. Now, an interesting thing about parallelograms, about trapezoids, is since these two lines are parallel, this side can effectively be a line intersecting parallel lines. And if that's the case, the interior angles add up to be 180. So we will call this angle theta. So 180 is equal to x plus theta. Subtract x, 180 minus x is equal to theta. So the answer to 20 is F. That concludes this video.